Welcome back to Fairfax Pilates. I'm Brittany, and today's workout is going to be all about the arms and the abs. We're going to use the Pilates Tower for our workout today, so go ahead and get yourselves set up, and when you're ready, let's begin. Alright, so we're going to begin using the roll down bar. Kneeling position, straight arms holding the outside of the clips on the roll down bar. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears and press the bar to tap the front of the thighs. I have my knees open wide with my feet together to have just a little bit of a different feel through the lower body. Inhale to press the arms down, and then an exhale to release the return up. Maintaining nice posture, stillness through the rest of the body. Move your hands inside the clips now, straight down, one tricep press and return. Press straight, bend and press the elbows, and then release. Press, bend, and go again. So I like this combination. In fact, right after the lat press, this one should make the arms quite warm, specifically those lats. These springs on the STOTT machines are rather heavy, so if you need more resistance and you're on a non-STOTT branded machine, you may need to scooch back. Alright, send the bar in front of the chest as you face the opposite direction. I'm going to put my feet right in the headrest and then just sort of anchor my toes there. Now we're going to press the arms straight forward. Rather than a chest press, think of this as a tricep press. Inside the clips with the hands, bending and pressing the arms straight forward. Now, in and out. Think bench press with a narrow grip. So the elbows are sliding right past the rib cage, bringing the bar toward the chest line. In and exhale, press. And we're going to go ahead and come right out of there. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab a ring. I'm going to show you a little fun thing you can do for assisted push-ups. Let's place the ring right through the center of the breastbone, and then you're going to get into a plank position. This one works much better with straight legs here. Elbows narrow, bend, and press. So the ring provides not only a little bit of assistance, but some alignment here. So you want to go nice and smooth and slow with the elbows bending. And then maybe you're going to hold, maybe we can do some baby pulses. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's get out of there. That is a pro fitness ring, so it is a heavy resistance band. Okay, we are going to use our arm springs for the majority of today's workout, so let's go ahead and bring those around to the front if you haven't already. This particular machine is a V2 Max, so you have the option to slide your arm springs to any height that you choose. I love to leave mine somewhere between 7, 8, and 9. Today's workout, they're on 8. Alright, so we're going to have a seat facing our tower, grabbing onto each of the handles individually, and we're going to just start with some ab warm-ups. Soft knees. You're going to roll down to touch the low back to the mat, and then we're going to flex forward. This is your standard half roll back from the mat sequence, but the nice thing about using the arm springs is we really get to focus on the lumbar mobility here because we have a little bit of support through the springs themselves. So scoop the tail under as you roll back and stay. Adding some high rows here to not only challenge the shoulders, but as you will notice, the abs. Exhale, pull, inhale, lengthen. So we're maintaining that scoop of the spine as we hold our position with our high rows. Now, baby pulses. I like to just kind of bounce back and forth, arms, abs throughout today's workout. So let's just pulse it out here right in the low tummy. Keeping those legs nice and still. And then just dive over the legs. Give yourself a little break here. And then we're going to stack it up nice and tall. All right, knuckles together, center of chest. We're going to curl under as we roll back, legs together and still. And now we're going to rotate to the side and then pass through the center, other side. The challenge is in keeping the legs absolutely steady. Let's point the toes and squeeze those long straight legs together. Twisting, feeling those internal obliques here to help the rotation. Twist and twist. And then fold forward, stretch over those legs again. All right, so we're gonna sit a little bit forward for reverse flies. Thumbs up, straight arms, and we're just trying to press the arms back. These arm springs are giving a lot of resistance, so I'm trying to just go as far back as possible, which ultimately makes them almost in line with the shoulders. Definitely feeling it across the shoulder girdle in the back though. Pulse it out here. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And let's take a break, rolling all the way down, bending those knees in. Let's get some bicep curls. So flexing forward, and we're just going to bend the elbows, pulling the handles towards the shoulders. And then let's go little crunch pulses. So you see this trend here, arms, abs, arms, abs. It's a nice little break for each of the body parts, and they're complementary. Now, one leg up, let's continue. So we're scooping back and then rising up. This one's sort of a play on that teaser, right? So you know how we build on a mat-based teaser. So you start with both feet down, then you extend one leg up, then you move to 2 legs up, right? So that's what we're doing here. Scoop under on the roll back, inhale to lengthen the upper back when you come to the top. We are emphasizing the articulation of the spine here. Okay, and then lean forward and stretch. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and turn it around. We're gonna just work with one strap for a little. So knees are bent, feet are hip distance apart, right hand holds the handle. Let's get the left hand in there as well. And we're gonna crunch up and across, pressing the right hand toward right hip. Both shoulders flex and rotate toward the right hip. The legs are steady. Exhale and across. Up and stay and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, and let's come down. All right, now all by itself, just the arm, legs up in tabletop. Press the arm as you extend the legs. If your low back doesn't care for this, always leave legs tabletop. You can do one arm at a time or one leg at a time, though that is a brain challenge. Play with your options here. This one is the most intense for the abs. Twice more. And now just hold the legs for those triceps. 3 and 4. Keep the low back imprinted. 6, 7, and hold the 8. And bring the elbows and knees back in. All right, let's switch sides. So we're gonna start with that crunch with rotation, holding the left strap with left hand, right hand on top, and we crunch and go. Up and across. So the legs are steady, the upper body, both shoulders, both ribs pushing toward left hip. 5, up and across. 6, make sure you're really flexing from right under the chest and pulse. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, arm all by itself, legs table. Press and lengthen the legs. Right back in. Reach. So we're trying to keep that low back imprinted. Feel free to check there, touching the fingertips below the low back, making sure that you're not lifting away from the mat. Reaching as low as your working level with those legs. Triceps, press and press. Just holding those legs. Where can you get those legs without losing the imprint? And let's bring it all the way back in. Okay, so a little bridging, just kind of relaxing through the back there, giving yourself a little bit of whatever kind of move you need to do here to just sort of stretch it out. I like to throw in a little rolling like a ball here, mainly because it just feels so nice on the lower back. And hey, it's a great transition into the mat series. Let's go. Single leg stretch, reach and reach. So the upper body is in flexion and it is still and strong and steady. Just moving the legs. Scissors now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's as if you're opening a pair of scissors, 3/4 all the way. Both legs are continuing to move in sync. And pull. 1, 2, 1, 2. Get that little sip of air in between when the legs pass. Exhale, pull. All right, hands behind the head, legs only for double leg stretch. You certainly can reach the arms above the head for the full. I like to sometimes just support the head and just concentrate on the lower abs here with the legs only moving. Reaching out. Now, maybe a little pulse here. I'm not coming all the way up. I'm staying in that challenging resistance area here, the legs pumping up and down. And then bring the knees in. All right, give yourself a little break here. Arms reach up and roll all the way up and forward. Stretch, always aiming for the little pinky edge of the foot when you reach forward, so you pull on the outside of the calves. All right, moving on, we're going to go back to facing the tower using the arm springs for a variation on bird dog. So we're going to grab one of the arm springs and just holding it with one hand. Hands and knees position. The hand will be hanging just wider than the frame of the mat. Opposite arm or leg back straight hip height. Straight arm pulls the handle to the hip and then release. So you're maintaining this lovely plank feel for the rest of the body, trying to maintain an absolute stillness, pressing away from the mat so the shoulder girdle stays strong, no protracted shoulders. Move it into the tricep from here. Bending and pressing, the upper arm is fixed right by the rib cage. One more time. Now, we're going to take the knee down, arm out, shoulder height, lateral flexion. So we're just using the hand to load the obliques. You're just doing a little side crunch. I'm not trying to push the handle to my hip. Side bending. Side bending. So that's for those external obliques right there. Okay, let's do all that goodness on the other side. Grab yourself a quick stretch in between and then shift over to the other side. Grabbing the handle, right hand holds the handle off the machine, left leg back, hip height. Here we go. Straight arm pulls the handle to hip and release. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we pull. So mainly here, you're focusing on the plank-like feel of the body. So your abs are in, your shoulders are wide, your balance is on point here. Move it into those triceps. Press, press, and then we'll take the knees down, arm out to the side, and lateral load here, crunch sideways. So if your hand touches your hip, you did way more arm than you needed to. This one's just about the obliques here, guys. Press and twist, press, and that lateral flexion. All right, give yourselves a little stretch break. Okay, we're going to use the ring one more time here for some little pulse-like push-ups. Bending the elbows a little bit, holding that leg a little bit mid-plank, and just pulse and pulse and pulse. So the amount of arms we've done today, this one should be very warm by now. And then just hold, hold, hold. I always try to set a time for at least 10 to 15 seconds, and then come on out of there. All right, so we're going to come up to kneeling position for some twisting. So making sure you hold the handle with the outside arm, so the one that's furthest from the tower, and then we're going to rotate. So trying to keep the hip bones pointed directly forward and rotate from the ribs and up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, return, exhale to twist. So I'm keeping my hands just slightly lower than my chest. Definitely not at shoulder height, especially where the origin of the spring is. You can elevate the spring, but for this, I just wanted to keep moving. All right, so half of a military press here. We're just taking it down and then pressing up. The bigger challenge here than the arm is in fact the obliques. You want to keep your body from teeter-tottering. That outside oblique is working. Press. And all right, so now we're going to scooch in, holding it with the outside arm, and now we rotate while holding. We are not trying to take the arm out. We are getting plenty of isometric on that deltoid here by just holding the arm in front of its own shoulder while we twist. Twist. All right, we've got to do all that magic on the other side. So go ahead and turn around. We're going to be on the knees, of course, making sure you hold the handle with the arm furthest from the tower, both hands in the center then, and then we're rotating ribs and up. So I always tell my clients, pretend as if you're holding a yoga block at the knees. You want to engage the adductors. They're really squeezing the inner thighs to hold the legs still as you rotate. Twist. It should feel nice. And then half of a military press there, that overhead press. So we're keeping the body vertical and just driving the arm up. So elbow bends and then drive it straight up. It's like you're painting half of a goalpost here. 6, 7, yep, 6 to 8 here. Okay, now outside arm, we're going to turn. So we're holding it. Notice that I'm not pulling my arm away from the body. I'm really just trying to keep it right in front of its own shoulder so that I'm getting that isometric when I rotate my trunk. Okay, very nice. Let's go ahead and just lay down here, finish with some back, which I consider part of the core, and you should too. So a little swimming is always a great one to throw into an everyday workout. Palms facing down, I'm just reaching my hands back towards my body. So I've got this sort of nice A shape. Let's just go over-unders with those legs just to mix it up here a bit. Upper body is strictly still. Glute squeezes, so keeping the lift of the legs. We're just bending in, reaching out, bending in, reaching out. So by keeping that float of the thighs, those glutees are burning. All right, lengthen out the legs. All right, let's go ahead and take a swan. Stretch out the shoulders, the chest, and mainly the abs. A little bit of side to side there. Let's come up for a nice strong plank. Hold your body still and just twist the hips. These are golfers, push-ups, or planks, so you're getting a lot of rotation through the waist. Keeping the toes still, twisting side to side. And then slow lower yourself all the way down to the tummy. Let's take that swan again. We get very few back bends in a normal day, so really take as many back bends as you need here to recover from our workout today. And then let's shift back into a little shell stretch, really rounding the spine, grabbing one edge of the mat, pulling the hips in the opposing direction, both sides of course. And that will conclude our workout today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time doing arms and abs today. If you have feedback or want to see something more, let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you next time.